Hi there, this is John from Cloud Consulting, and we're going to be looking at account engagement, otherwise known as Marketing Cloud account engagement, and formerly known as Pardot. Now, as it's a Salesforce app, you'll see from the screen that there is the recognizable ribbon across the top for your menu items. It's one of the positives around Marketing Cloud account engagement is that it's embedded in the Salesforce ecosystem. Similar sort of navigation that the users of other apps will be very familiar with around Salesforce. Let's have a look at some of the functionality that Marketing Cloud account engagement gives. The initial screen is around a dashboard to give you an overview of the prospects that are being created, and prospects meaning the contact records or the records that are coming from forms or other activities such as landing pages that enter into the Pardot system. They can then be pushed over to the CRM via assignment, link up with existing data. The conversion when it comes to Pardot is talking around the identification of visitors to prospects and the fact that they've identified themselves by filling out a form. Through the prospects fields, we can see that you can segment, create lists, which are a big part of the activities on Pardot, Marketing Cloud account engagement, as you can use these lists in engagement studios, which we'll come to in a bit, and to send emails, but also in automations. Campaigns are at the heart of Marketing Cloud account engagement, and these campaigns are shared across to Sales Cloud. So it's one campaign across both, meaning you can report on those activities in Sales Cloud and use the reporting functionality there to pull the success of those campaigns and create dashboards off the back of it. In addition, there is B2B MA, which is another reporting package that's available with account engagement, which gives you a viewpoint on prospect activities, lead and contact activities, and again, a quick sort of viewpoint on the success of your marketing activities and how well they are doing in relation to opportunities. In terms of automations, there's a number of different automations in and available in Marketing Cloud account engagement. Engagement Studio is a facility in which you can do a process-driven approach to your activities. So based on actions, triggers, or rules, you can send prospects down different paths and do different actions as a result. So send them different emails if a certain field value was in there, and really segment your data using Engagement Studio. So this is an automated process which starts with a trigger of a list, and through that list you can send emails, change values, add them to campaigns. But this is the real automation heart of Engagement Studio. Very powerful piece of the solution from account engagement, and one that can be used for a variety of automations. In addition, there are other automations that go on. Automation rules, you can do criteria-based rules on the prospect data. You can create lists or tag people or do lots of different actions based off an automation rule. And these can be used across the prospect data. And here's some of the sort of activities you can run, including Salesforce tasks that you can push through if you're using a Sales Cloud CRM. And there are other automations which we'll have a look at now associated to forms or form handlers, depending on how your site is set up. So forms are a way in which you can create native forms within the form builder of Marketing Cloud account engagement. It's with these forms, there is a layout template that is applied to it. So you'd put your CSS and layout within there to style up the form. But in terms of the fields, It's easy to add fields and label them up using the builder. It's not a exact replica of the form because the look and feel is coming from the layout template that you would choose. But there is areas which you can edit, and as a builder, it's a fairly intuitive and easy to use builder. By using the layout template as well, it offers the opportunity to put scripts or additional scripts into the form if and as necessary. In addition, there's form handlers. So if you had forms on your website that used your content management system to build those forms, you could still use those forms and push the data through post messages into Pardot and account engagement through mapping of those fields and pushing those values through. There's also the ability to build landing pages. So there are two builders in account engagement. The classic builder for landing, the classic builder that we'll look at for emails, which is a fairly simple to use builder, but it is not drag and drop. So moving elements and changing them isn't an easy job. It may be that you need to create other templates in order to do some edits because they are fairly limited once created in terms of the template. But the ability to create landing pages is within account engagement. If we now look at the forms, the emails, again, there's two builders in Pardot account engagement. One of them is the classic builder, which allows you to use and get a viewpoint of the HTML, which is super useful if you need to change the code, add custom fonts, or do any other sort of style changes in here, including exceptions for different email clients. The drag and drop, it's not a drag and drop builder as such on this classic builder. What you do get is editable regions. So if I click into this region, I can edit it, and you would get the ability to move regions around in moving the sections above and below. So as you can see here, this is an example of a Pardot editable region where you can move the row up or down and edit the contents. If these other regions were editable, the same view would be available. In addition, there is a drag and drop builder, which is being updated all the time because it is aligned now to the new products of Marketing Cloud Encore, which allows for a more drag and drop appearance. One of the big positives around account engagement is that it's part of the Salesforce family. So it's embedded into Salesforce. The logins are shared. So once you're in, providing you have access to the permission sets, you get access to account engagement. That is a big positive. Also, by it integrating with Sales Cloud, you can lean on the reporting capabilities of Sales Cloud, but you also have some of the functionalities in B2B MA for reporting. And this is the creation of dashboards, whether that's using the dashboards that are available out the box, or if the team is skilled up, it's possible to manipulate those further with code. So through B2B MA, there are some set dashboards which can be really useful for an overview of your activities. These can be manipulated, but there is a knowledge that is needed of some of the code behind the scenes, and it is not a... So through B2B MA, there is the ability to have some out-the-box dashboards around engagement and some of the activities that are happening, which are filterable, and you can get data out of them. It is possible to add on to this, but there is a knowledge base needed in order to do so. So it isn't something that's necessarily out the box and intuitive to update beyond the out the box dashboards that you get.